Node 564560 connected to Node 564562.
Oops.
For the night. Wow. Finally got the machine dialed into my driveway. It's
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the '08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We transmit on 70 centimeters to Cougar Mountain. There it's a crossband repeater and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. Find out more about our group please Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage. There you'll find the exact frequencies we transmit and receive on. And also, you'll find a link that will take you to YouTube where we stream our nets held Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we simulcast our audio on our sister station, WW7 ATS 2-meter repeater, and that frequency is 147.08 with a tone of 103.5. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before our net gets fully underway. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Welcome back. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. So far checked into the net via video link is Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles, Bob, K9PQ in Oak Harbor, Richard, K7ITX in Kent, Jim, N7QO in Covington, James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. If there's anybody else who would wish to check into the net, do so now. Hearing none, well, welcome back to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. So let's go up to Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles.
Okay, my call is up and video, I think soon to be there. There we go. Everyone, this is N7KC Lee in Port Angeles, West Port Angeles, inside the city limits though, and a couple of blocks south of the bluff, north of the airport, etc., etc. Well, anyway, it's good to be here. Here we are, the end of February. Can you believe it? And we have had just a smidge over 50% of our 10-year average January rainfall. Last January we got less than an inch, 0.96, and this year we got 2 inches, just a smidge over 2 inches, 2.25 actually, and our long-term average here is about 4.42. So again, this year we're starting off on the dry side, and we'll see how this all works out when summer comes along. You know what? I haven't had enough time to. Well, it was a busy week. We had visitors from Snohomish, some friends of many years stopped by, and that occupied some of our time. And I haven't been able to get to OBS and figure out. I kind of think it may be the length of the files. That's my gut feeling at the moment why I can't play only a few selected MP4s when it claims that it takes it. I guess I need to have a chat with ChatGPT to see if maybe it knows what the maximum file size is that it can handle. You would think it would be bigger than what I'm experiencing, but maybe not. Richard, yep, good for you being home. Yeah, you got that figured out, I guess. Yep, that's great. I don't see Ron here tonight, so I don't know where he is. I did catch a note that I think it was Carlos was on an airplane, and etc., etc. So he's tripping around the world. I don't have much more, Dave. The only videos I could play were ones that I had done before, and I don't think I'll do that. And I'm going to stay here for a half hour or so before I slip away. So back to you, Dave. This is N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles.
N7KC, thanks with that. And let's move up to Oak Harbor to Bob, K9PQ. K9PQ, unable to copy audio. Your video looked fine. Again, welcome back to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX in Kent.
Yeah, Bob. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, your video looks fantastic on YouTube, the repeater. So it's just an audio issue. And then Lee, I understood everything he said, but it was a heck of an echo. It was in quite an echo chamber, and I didn't quite understand that why. I do notice you're not muted on Discord, but I don't think that would have anything to do with it. So I just don't know what's going on tonight so far. Usually we start out with a couple bugs like we did Wednesday night, so the gremlins are back again. But hopefully they'll work themselves out over the course of the night and as we play and experiment around like we usually do. So anyway, yeah, and if Ron's listening, hope you're on the mend. I saw your text tonight, Ron, and I feel for you. Boy, I know what it's like to get laid up. Boy, I've been there and done that. So you got my full prayers and sympathy. That's for darn sure. Speaking of looking forward to medical instruments. I got the word yesterday on the telephone that the University of Washington Kidney Transplant Committee, the doctors and nurses, have approved me. I'm approved for going on the list for a new kidney. So that's something I can finally look forward to officially. I look forward to getting a phone call in about 0 to 3 years from now. But I expect it's going to be a done deal, and I passed all the tests from head to toe, so to speak, and oh man, they really rake you through the coals on the interviews too. I'm telling you, it was like 5 hours at the clinic a week ago Monday, and then an hour on the phone with the social worker on Thursday. It just was never ending. But I'm done, and now I'm going to have to make sure I'm a six-hour trip from the time they call me to the time I can get to the hospital. So that's kind of a short but intermediate long leash. I can think of a lot of places I can go and get back in 6 hours. So I'll tell you, I'm going to stretch the limits. I normally do on a deal like this, so I'm pretty excited. So with that, let's see if we can get rid of the gremlins tonight. K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks with that. And regards to Ron, I had the conversation with him just before the net. He's still under weather, but recuperating at home, and looks like everything they did with his medical procedures worked out well for him. So it's just kind of recuperating at this point at home. He said he wanted to be on the net tonight, was just not feeling that great. He was just weak from the medical procedures he had gone through. And get a quick ID here. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's see if Jim's with us. N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Well, Lee, good to see you. Talking about the rainfall, wow, about 50% of average, looking at a 10-year average. I thought, in your neck of the woods, I thought Squim was supposed to be the dry location. I wonder how they've done this recently. Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess the snowpack's probably all melted too up there. Anyway, good picture. Bob, yeah, that was excellent video, but no audio whatsoever. However, the 2-meter repeater was being keyed. It's almost like maybe there's a switch on your microphone that's turned off. It sensed that you're transmitting, but no audio. Let's see, Dick. Thanks for mentioning Ron. I did not know what was going on there. I cannot say I checked my email before coming onto the net. And Dave, thanks for some follow-up information on that as well. So Ron, hope you recover quickly. And Dick, on the kidney list, wow, sounds like they gave you the 3rd degree sort of as payment in advance for a kidney. Yeah, 6-hour showtime. I don't know. That's pretty tight. It's not that you can go some places, but I don't know about going to California to see any races. Sorry about that. We will hope that, and I'm sure all of us will hope that you get a new kidney soon. But that's wonderful news that they poked and prodded you until they were satisfied, and you survived that. Now, just gotta hope they find a kidney for you. Let's see what's going on with me. I don't know. Oh, I apologize for missing the last net. I sent out a an email. Hope someone got that I would not be here. Hope someone got that. I don't even remember what I was doing then. I can't keep track of the days anymore. It's just things are out of control here. More things to do than there are hours in the day. Let's see. It was nice and warm today. I saw 51 degrees on my high-quality Japanese, Chinese thermometer here at the house. Right now it's showing 46 degrees. Once the sun went down here, it got pretty foggy for a while, but now almost all of the fog has dissipated, and it's nice and clear. Lots of stars in the sky out there tonight. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. Well, let's see if James with us, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Thank you, Dave. Stand by for link up here. I'm getting my OBS going.
Testing 1 2 3 4.
Testing 1 2 3 4.
This is WU7N, Whiskey Uniform 7 November in Northeast Bellevue. Well, good kidney news. I'm glad to hear all that. That sounds like nothing but positive news from what I can tell. So that's great. Lee, you had lots of echo. You were intelligible for most of it, but heavy echo. I don't know where that's coming from. Sorry to hear you guys are drying up out there with no rain. You mentioned Chat GPT. I think that's a wonderful tool as long as you can kind of check what you're getting. I was trying to help a lady in the post office today, and thank goodness a clerk came up and said, I can help. And I said, okay, you take it. Because what the Chat GPT was telling her to do with her certified mail to a courtroom in Queens was, I think, pretty much just absolutely wrong. So anyway, Lee, I'm glad you're on tonight. I had a question for everyone, but I think most especially you. And that is, let me flip here. Okay, so I have been fixing this little SWR meter, and I was successful. It was a lot harder than I thought it would be, but I was successful in replacing this diode right here, and then there is another diode. I don't know if we're getting a good focus here or not. Another diode here. You can see that there's also a capacitor here and also a capacitor here. Now, I need to search literature to see this if there's any calibration procedures for any similar type of equipment as this. As you can see, there's 5 pots here. It's an SWR meter designed to work on 3 ranges on 2 bands. 2 meters and 70 centimeters is what it's supposed to be doing. So I thought a good first step might be to use the Nano NVA network vector analyzer and put in a signal on the transmit side and then see what comes out the other side. And in theory, that seems like a good first idea because from what I've researched so far, you need to get those 2 capacitors set correctly for maximum pass-through before you adjust for anything else. So the Nano NVA comes with this convenient flowchart right here, which I'm sure is fundamentally obvious to everyone. You can see here and if you're confused, don't worry. There's a key. There's a color-coded key right there. Okay, so enough levity aside. It does come with an English set of instructions right here. But actually, the fundamental problem isn't. The fundamental problem here is I don't know what I'm doing. One suggestion I had would be treat this like it's a piece of coax cable, feed a signal on one side and out the other, and figure what the losses are, and then adjust the 2 capacitors for minimum loss. That's one idea. If anybody else has any other ideas on specifically what to do, with a network vector analyzer to at least get those two caps set correctly for the 70 centimeter band and the 2 meter band, I'm all ears. So that's all the excitement I have here tonight. This is James, WAU7N, Whiskey Uniform 7 November in Northeast Bellevue. Thank you, everyone, in advance for your thoughts.
W7ITL.
W7ITL, welcome to the net, and go ahead, take your turn.
Okay, well, let's see if I got any audio coming in. I do. It's been a pretty good net so far. It's too bad to hear about Ron. Hopefully he gets better soon. James, your meter there, working on that. I don't have any ideas, but I'll look if I can here shortly and see if there's anything we can figure out, make that more calibrated with those two pots or capacitors. A long day today. I started my day off at the Radio Club at Tacoma and was helping out around there, and we were getting rid of some stuff that was just kind of old and needed to be either tossed or organized, so I was helping out with that this morning, and then talked for a little bit with some hams that were trying to get into mesh core, and then after that I drove to Seattle and helped out a friend with an IT issue, and got back, and it was just exhausted, so I took a nap, and I just got out from my nap, and just checking with you folks. And Richard, before I forget, congratulations on getting on the kidney transplant list, and hopefully you'll get a calls here before the 3 years that you had mentioned, 0 to 3 years. So, all right, and Bob, yeah, we'll hopefully get all your audio things figured out, and then Lee, yeah, your audio was okay, but just a little echoey. I'm sure you got that figured out. That's about all I got for this round, and hopefully we'll see you guys around on the next round. W7ITL, back to net control.
W7ITL, thanks for that. And I just got a page from Carlos saying that he's listening to us on Echolink on board the aircraft that he's on his trip out of this area. So anyway, wanted to let you know that he was listening in on the net. And this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. Well, I'll say kudos to Richard, boy, being on that list and being okayed for that. Boy, what a great spot to be in, and to have that working in his favor. So wishing well for that. And hopefully maybe it'll happen sooner than later. Be able to enjoy that more. And let's see, the net's been going pretty good. There was a little bit of an echo that came in on Lee. But boy, Lee's picture was just sharp as a tack, and Bob's picture was sharp as a tack. However, Bob's audio was non-existent for some reason. I tried monitoring both on 2 meters and on the digital TV side, and I was getting no audio on that at all. So with that, this is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City, and by the way, I got 46 degrees and cloudy outside. So let's return up to the top. We'll go to Lee, N7KC.
Okay. Do I have the echo now? Anybody listening can signal me? Any echo? I have the echo still. Not coming from here then. I don't have any. The Discord mic is shut off and the speakers are shut off. And Well, oh, I know what. Do I have an echo now? Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I don't know what it is. James, oh, hi to Covington Jim. Good to hear you, Jim. And yeah, we're starting off the year. Another dry one, maybe. I don't know what I can do here to the computer. I don't know. I have to think. James, you know what? Without seeing a print, my stream audio. Wade is telling me that my stream audio. Now, do I have an echo now? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I just turned my stream audio off, and apparently it went away. Do I have an echo now? Am I echoing? Oh, it's okay now. Well, I'll be darned. I didn't do anything, guys. All I did was turn the slider down and put it back up in the same position. I did nothing, really. So that's a mystery. All right. Well, anyway, James, without a print, I'd be hard pressed really to tell you what those capacitors did. I don't know what kind of a diode you replace it with, but as a rule, those always had germaniums in them because they're the scale voltage is 3/10 of a volt, half of a silicon of 0.6. But I would think that you could also use a Schottky in there, probably successfully. But I would think those capacitors are probably for frequency compensation. You know, the way to check it is to have a 50 ohm resistive load and a 100 ohm resistive load and simply adjust the controls until you get the correct mismatch when you put the 100 on. You know, I've done that before. Anyway, I'm not much help really. Yes, and Carlos, if you're listening, that's pretty cool. A 16-hour trip. Holy smokes. That's a long time on an airplane. A lot of people get DVTs by making those trips, so be careful. With that, I'll tell you what, I will play just a little bit here of, I think it's video 2. This is me on my two-wheeler. It's a pedal bike. This was done about 10 years ago, 8 or 9 or 10 years ago. And I'm on the Olympic Discovery Trail, which is from my place, the 10th Street entrance. It's 4.3 miles to the bridge over the Elwha. And so, whoops, I wanted to be way down the pike here. Let me get down here. Yeah, here we go. We're going on the ramp up to the bridge. It's called the Lower Elwha Road, and it goes across the Elwha, a mile or so from the mouth of it. Maybe not quite that far. And they slung the bike trail underneath the bridge when they put it in. This bridge has been here 20 years or so, something like that. Anyway, this is really a kick. You know, you can see the river on the right there coming up, so forth. You can see everything is bowed because it's kind of a wide angle lens. It's a GoPro, and yeah, but it does a pretty nice job. Okay, well listen, I will back out of here. I've been on for a half hour now. I'll hang on for a little bit more, and then I'll just quietly slip away. So let me get back to my camera here. And I would say it's good to see you all tonight, and I bet you're really excited about that, Richard. I hope that goes well for you. And sorry to hear about Ron being ill. I did not see his text. Dave, take her away. This is N7KC, Leon, Port Angeles.
N7KC, thanks for that. And this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. So let's move up to Bob, K9PQ in Oak Harbor.
Guys hear me at this point. That my video hasn't come up yet, but my microphone appears to be working. Okay, I got a thumbs up. Good. Yeah, that was operator error. I don't know why OBS. Got to take off the headset. I don't know why OBS doesn't retain settings, and I'm getting something from Dave, like maybe my audio's low. Well, let me move on. You guys can hear me, so that's good. Lee, your echo did go away when you turned the slider down, and it did come back when you turned the slider back up again. So I think whatever that was that you did was the solution. It's just that we didn't hear it as loudly afterward. Maybe you didn't turn the slider up quite so much. So from here, it's 51 degrees. What I was saying last time that you guys didn't hear is that I went back down to Woodinville to pick up more stuff from my storage, and I chose today because a couple of neighbors, my neighbors downstairs from my Bothell condo, are moving away. They're going to Coeur d'Alene, and so I wanted to visit with them before they left. So we had a nice visit. I picked up a bunch of things that I need. I'm still going to hire movers to bring out the rest because there's some few very heavy items that I wouldn't even try to do with a friend helping me or something. So I'm just going to hire movers to get that done. Congratulations, Richard. That's fantastic news. And I'm holding good thoughts for you that that'll happen very soon. And Ron, I hope you get well soon. I don't know if I heard about what happened, but I'm glad to hear you that you're recovering from whatever it was, and look forward to seeing you on the net again soon. Let's see, what else have we got? Oh, the streaming output that I get, it has been pausing for like just a second maybe, multiple times during the net, and then the video and audio is sped up to catch up afterwards. So it must be on the delivery side. I don't I've seen it before. I don't know what causes that behavior. I'm curious about that. Yeah, as far as Squim being dry, I don't know if Port Angeles is in the same rain shadow as Squim. They're not that far from each other, so I just assumed they were. But I don't know about that. And Wade, good for you helping out at the Radio Club of Tacoma. That's great getting involved like that. The Radio Club here meets at the south end of the island about a half hour away, so I don't know how often I'm going to get there, but I'll go at least once or twice just to kind of meet the people. And I think that's pretty much it. So I will send it back, and we'll catch you on the next time. K9.
K9PQ, thanks for that. Also, we have a visitor, Seth, KM7DKX. What say you, Seth? Take the mic.
Hello, I think this is going and operational. Let me double check here. It appears to be all operational. This is Kilo Mike 7 Delta Kilo X-Ray. Thanks for having me. Thanks for allowing me to check in. I figured I'll just do a quick round here, and then I'm going to probably hop on over to the PSRG 9 p.m. net. Not much is going on over here. I had a fun, eventful weekend. Yesterday, we were in Tacoma, and we disassembled a 45-foot tower, and took that down, took care of that. Today was a fun day. Got over to the Radio Club Tacoma, met up with Wade, had some good conversations, got some plans into place, and I got to do some HF for the first time. I got out on the 10-meter bands and made 2 contacts, one out to Wisconsin and one all the way to Missouri. That was only, let's see here, I think I was only doing 100 watts, and that was on 28.430 megahertz and then 28.4 megahertz. So that was a fun, eventful day. The only other nice thing I found out is I bought a cheaper 2-meter, 70 centimeter dual band antenna to go on my rig temporarily for a rally event coming up. And it came with this this ground plane adapter to assist its ground plane, and I was getting a really bad SWR, so I took this out of the line of antennas, just out of line, and I found that this adapter that's mainly made out of plastic, and even the threads from just screwing onto the antenna base have gone to pretty much nothing at the start there, but this adapter made my SWR to a 2.5 to a 3. So I took this out, and on 2-meter I'm getting a 1.4, and 70 centimeter I'm now getting a 1.5. So I think that's acceptable, and I think I'm going to run it because I need something for rally this year. So rally will be fun. That's coming up in April. We could always use more hams if anyone's interested. Well, thanks for having me. It's great to be here, and I hope to catch
Thanks for joining the net, Seth. KM7DKX. And you're welcome back next time. Let's move on to Richard, K7ITX.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, Seth. Great setup at your QTH at home. I can't help but notice your call sign and its relationship to the DK Club in Tacoma. That's pretty cool. And your on-screen title and poster and the rally car. I love sports car racing. I'm part of a team with the 69 Datsun 510. We do vintage road racing up and down the West Coast. So I'm into Piers Motorsports like you are, along with the radio that goes with it. So that's pretty cool. What else? Oh, the weather was spectacular today. 58 degrees. The sun was shining in my new clean garage. I had to clean it out to get our new garage doors on Monday, so that was quite a feat, but we pulled it off. So I was enjoyed being out in the garage, just doing a couple maintenance items. And let's see what else. James, when you're tinkering around with your electronics there, I couldn't help but notice underneath what you were working on was your electric bill. And your electric bill reminded me of my electric bill, which I went to the trouble to figure out how much my electric car was adding to my electric bill for the month of January. And so I took a look at the bill, what they charge per kilowatt hour. I looked at the number of kilowatt hours I put into my car in January. came out to $35. And $35, that's less than a tank of gas. So, and normally we might go through 3 to 4 tanks in a month. So right off the bat, the electric it's a 2025 Mustang Mach-E, and 88. It's got the battery can handle 88 kilowatt hours. So it's got about, when fully charged, about 250 mile range. But we haven't done that yet. It's too new, and it's just been doing really good around all of the Seattle and Tacoma area on just one charge at home. We have level 2 240 volt 40 amp circuit that does it just fine. In about an hour and a half, it gets fully charged after running around the area. Okay, and then let me take a break. And then on the more kind of sadder side of life, we Covington Jim had mentioned, and of course I noticed and remarked about that airplane crash that Vancouver socialite car racer Greg Biffle crashed, and he was killed. I can't remember what the location was, but I was just going to bring your attention to a report on YouTube by on a website called or a YouTube channel called Pilot Debrief, and I guess the NTSB has given a preliminary report that kind of helps shed some light on the cause of the crash, and I found it quite interesting and remarkable how he was able to tie in together the fact that the pilot of the plane, though he was certified, but he was certified with an exception that he had a certified co-pilot in the right-hand pilot seat with him on this particular plane, when in fact he didn't. He had just a pilot that was the son of Greg Biffle, who was a pilot, but not particularly qualified for that plane. And then Greg Biffle was not in either one of the pilot seats, even though he was qualified. And so that was just kind of how he started up his report, that there was this weird exception. And, well, it's the little things that I guess that tend to add up. The fact that the altitude indicator was not working properly on the left side of the instrument panel, and the Garmin GTS stopped recording airspeed data, so that didn't help on the pilot side of the aircraft. At the same time, at takeoff, they were flying under VFR, but were having trouble getting IFR established, and they were fighting a 5,000-foot ceiling that was now 2,500 feet after they took off. When they took off, it was 10 miles visibility. Now it was reduced to 5 miles with heavy drizzle, and then the pilot's microphone wasn't. It was garbled. He couldn't talk or traffic control, and so the younger pilot had to do all that. And so it was just one thing after another. Kind of a sharp turn to go back to the airport to land, put them in too close of the runway where they had to kind of angle around and come down, and then it just appeared the next thing they know, they're at 500 feet and they're going too slow. And anyway, you can see pilot debrief, and the story is sadly becomes clear. I think, it's weird how a lot of the little things add up, and I found it quite sad. So with that, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks for that, Richard. Let's go to Wade in Tacoma, W7ITL.
All right, let's wait for the audio to come in. And there we go, I think. Yep. Well, nice to see you, Seth, on the net again. Hopefully you can come around. Just if you're still listening, we're here every Wednesday and Saturday at 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. So that's that. Don't have a lot more to talk about, but it is certainly nice to see everybody. Yeah, that's about all I got. Sorry, guys, for just being a real short, but that's all I got. I'll catch you guys on the next round. W7ITL, back to net control.
W7ITL, thanks for that. Let's go to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Mr. Repeater. Well, let's see. Wow, it's been a while since it got back to me before here. Jim, that Bellevue Jim, that Chinese flowchart was funny. I almost wish you hadn't had an American print on that. But I missed, is that what went with the VSWR meter? They didn't give you a print. The only suggestions I have would be to get on the computer and see if you can find a print for that, or if you can't, find a print for some similar meter, and maybe you can draw some comparisons between the two. That's my only suggestion there. Wade, yeah, busy doing ham radio stuff. That's very good. And Wade, good to see you. Excellent video, excellent audio, all around.
Node
Lee, that was really a great video of that bike trail. Yeah, I didn't notice the echo come back as much afterwards either. I agree with Bob there on that. If it was there, my ears were not able to perceive it the second time after you moved the slider. Let's see, Carlos is listening in. 16-hour trip. Holy cow.
Node 3.
Good evening,
5,
Carlos.
0, 2, 8, 6.
Hope you're not
4,
going to somewhere where it is winter. If you are, I hope you took a parka with you. Definitely parts of this country where it's really cold. But if I don't know if it's a 16-hour leg or a 16-hour day, and you may have been stuck at some airport for a few hours. At any rate, long day for you there. Bob, excellent audio now. Seth, that was a cool ground plane that you had there. I saw pictures of one of those in a catalog somewhere. Never did see one in real life. Well, now I have. Thanks for showing that. Dick, $35 to recharge your vehicle. Yeah, that's definitely less than what I pay for a tank of gas. Glad you are enjoying the Mustang, and it sounds like it's saving some money as well. That's good. The Greg Biffle crash, yeah. Blanco Lurio also did a video recently, and I watched that one. It was clear that they were experiencing some electrical problems on that airplane, and apparently that's why they were returning to the airport. Yeah, definitely a number of issues. Things add up. They say an accident is a result of a chain of events, and they've told us over the years, just try to break one link of the chain, and maybe things would have come out differently. But yeah, they were definitely having a bad day. What a shame. Back to you, Dave, in 7QO.
N7QO, thank you. Let's go to Northeast Bellevue to James, WU7N.
Thank you, Dave. I'm going to go live here with the digital side in just one moment. WU7N, Northeast Bellevue.
Whiskey Uniform 7 November in Northeast Bellevue. Okay, on the air. Well, Lee, thank you very much for your comments. They're very helpful. Yeah, what I did here, I'll flip. And these are the diodes I used to replace the two, I believe, germanium diodes in the little passive SWR meter. I say passive because there's no power and there's no amplifier in it, which it's amazing to me that this works at all. But you'll notice the price here was a whopping $1.19, and I can't even remember when I got these. But there's the catalog number back in the days when you bought things at Radio Shack in a little bubble pack. And so you can see the characteristics here, if I can get this to focus. 40 amp or 40 volts, 1 amp Schottky barrier diode with a peak reverse voltage of 45 volts, a DC reverse voltage of 28 volts, average forward current 1 amp, and a forward voltage of 0.55, a reverse current of 5 milliamps. But here's the one that gets me. Reverse recovery time 0.2, that is 0.2 of 1 microsecond. I think that's just amazing. I guess I'm just getting old. So anyway, I can get the needle to move. But calibrating this is going to be problematic. The best information I've got is if I can somehow get those two capacitors set correctly, then you can figure out what the other pots do. Because the meter, I guess I can toss it up here again so you can see it. The meter over here, this switch here, it determines whether it's SWR or power. And unlike a lot of SWR meters, you don't switch a SWR switch back and forth for forward and reverse current. The magic on the circuit board does all that for you. So you can see the SWR over here is 1.2, 1.5, 2, 3. That in of itself is pretty amazing because that means they're using some sort of a network to use what's rectified off one of the diodes for forward current and somehow adding or subtracting it to what's coming off the other diode for reverse current in this little meter movement. And over here you can see that it's got three settings, 15, 60 watts, and 200 watts. AI did find one source that said after you get the two capacitors set 60 watts first, which of course up here is the center scale. But to me, the thing is a marvel of engineering, even if it's a little outdated. I think there's some place you could buy a brand new one for $90, but that would be no fun at all, and that would be letting this one right here win. So we're not going to do that. I'm going to fix this one. So anyway, appreciate your comments, Lee. This is James, WU7N. Oh, I was going to say to Ron, get well soon. Take care of yourself. I saw on the digital side what was wrong there, so I'm glad they caught that early, and hope you heal up as quickly as you can. So this is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. I am stopping.
WU7N, thanks for that. And it's time for another ID. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, all in all, everything seems to be shaking hands up at the repeater tonight. Good audio, good video coming across, and no delays, and everything's looking very smooth. So that's got to put my 2 cents worth in on that. Let's see if Seth is still with us. He was talking about leaving, but maybe he's still monitoring. KM7DKX. And we seem to have lost the signal with him. So let's go back up to the top of the list to Bob, K9PQ.
Well, I didn't expect to get another turn. Richard, so I got to take this off. The streaming output for me tonight is pausing briefly, but right in the middle of yours, it just stopped altogether, and I had to reload the page. So I didn't hear about your charging $35. That's a great price. I just filled up today, and it was a lot more than that. So good for you on that. That's still something I'm considering. I don't really want to have two vehicles, but especially now I've only got a one-car garage and a space for one more vehicle outside. But it would be nice to have something around town that wasn't so hungry and was easier to get around. I've thought about buying an electric car for that over the years. Let's see, what else do I have here? Yeah, James, on good for you on fixing the SWR meter and not letting the meter win. I like that attitude. I wish I could say I'm that way with electronics myself, but I am not. I would go and buy another meter, or fortunately, I've got a meter that works, and well, I haven't tried it in a while, so we'll have to find out. Yeah, on that note, we're about done. I'll just say I have not started doing real ham radio here yet, but it's going to happen soon. Still unpacking. Everyone have a good evening. This is K9PQ, and I'll send it back to Dave.
K9PQ, thanks for that. And unfortunately, it's time for the net to come to a conclusion. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net broadcasting in digital amateur television and simulcasting on WW7ATS 2-meter repeater. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, signing off the net at 9 o'clock. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Good evening all.
Node 3156068 disconnected.